Hey, how's it guys? All right, so in this video, we're going to learn how to answer this data interview question called salaries differences in SQL. So the question is really easy and actually it's not too bad. Let's look at the description here. So we need to write a query that calculates the difference between the highest salaries found in the marketing and engineering departments. Output just the absolute difference in salaries. And here we have two tables, employee and department. Now, when you answer an interview question like this, you want to make sure that you provide the most logical sequence to solve this problem. So, for example, I know some people, actually, I've seen some people answer this question by looking at the department ID from the second table. For instance, we know the engineering and marketing departments belong to ID 1 and 4. So, what they do is they'll simply write a slash statement from the employee table. Then in the word clause, they will use the in clause and manually type the department's ID. And that's not what the interviewer is looking basically. So for example, what happens if the interviewer decided to say, oh, I don't want to calculate the high salary or salary difference between these two departments. Rather, I want to calculate the difference between marketing, not marketing, let's say operation and sales. In that case, are you going to merely look at the department ID? And assuming that you have, let's say, 500 departments, then that's going to require a little bit of time to merely perform the lookup. So what we need to do here to correctly answer this question is by here. So let's first of all do the slash statement. And it's going to be db dp. And we'll have this word clause. So I'm going to say where department in. Now I'm going to manually type the name of the department, 90. And this will be engineering and marketing. And I'll quickly return both IDs, 1 and 4. Then we're going to join the department's table against the employee table. And let's call this table department, DPT. And we'll name this as EMPL. Then we're going to join these two tables using, and this will be department ID, and this will be ID. So it will be department ID is equals to department's ID. And that will return all the records from both tables. Now we need to figure out the highest salary employees from this table here. Actually, I took that back. We need to figure out the highest salary of employee from both departments. All right, so in that case, let's do employee department ID. And we can use the max function to get the highest salary of the employee from both departments. So goodbye employee department ID. And here we're going to get these two records. Now at this point, we can easily calculate the difference between these two values. So because we only have two records, we can simply take the max and the min value from these two records. And for the output, just need to calculate the difference. All right, so let's call this column as salary. And we can either convert this as a common table expression or we can use a subquery. I'm going to use subquery to quickly calculate the difference. So I'll simply grab the salary column So the max function is going to take the highest value from this table. In this case, it's going to be 45,787. And this one's going to be the main value. And I'll call this as salary difference. And I'll return 2,400 as the difference. Now at this point, simply just double check your SQL query. And once everything check out, then click on check solution. And that should mark the solution as solved. Alright, so this is going to be everything I'm going to cover in this lesson, and hopefully you guys find this video useful. And feel free to post your question or your feedback in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.